Okay, so today we're going to be taking a look at concentration of solutions. This is something that I've assigned to you on CK12. This is something that I've put online for you in terms of class notes, but several people have requested that I give more of an explanation, so that's what I'm going to try to do today. So we're going to be taking a look at concentration. Concentration compares the amount of solute that's in a solution to the amount of solution overall. Sometimes it's the amount of solvent, and there are several different ways that we can express this. Right? By far, the most common way that we're going to be using is called molarity. Molarity is the number of moles of solute that is dissolved in 1 liter of solution. And the units that we're going to use for this are moles per liter. This is often abbreviated molar, abbreviated with a capital M. So a 1 molar solution has a concentration of 1 mole per liter. That's 1 mole of solute per liter of solution. The formula for calculating molarity is shown for you on table T of your chemistry reference tables. It is written out in words instead of in symbols. Molarity is equal to the number of moles of solute divided by the number of liters of solution. In many ways, this is similar to the formula for density, which is mass divided by volume. But instead of mass, we're dealing with the number of moles, and we're dealing with the liters of solution. We can, of course, change that if we add or remove solvent from the solution. So let's take a look at a typical problem that you are going to have to solve. It looks like this. In our first example, what is the molarity of a solution containing 2.5 moles of sodium chloride in 1.5 liters of solution? So I'm going to show this to you. I do not yet have a good online whiteboard, so I simply have something already pre-made for you. Right? So here's the formula that we find on table T. Molarity is equal to the number of moles of solute divided by the number of liters of solution. I'm going to abbreviate solution SOL apostrophe N. This is something commonly done by chemists who are too lazy to write stuff out. So using the values from the problem, the molarity is 2.5 moles of sodium chloride, that's the given amount of solute, divided by 1.5 liters, that is the given amount of solution. And 2.5 divided by 1.5 works out to 1.7 moles per liter when we round to two significant figures, which is what we should be doing because we're doing division, and each of the measured values have 2 significant figures. We can abbreviate this either as moles per liter. We can also simply call it 1.7 molar, abbreviated with a capital M. Molar and moles per liter, remember, mean exactly the same thing. This is a very straightforward sort of problem. You are likely to see something like this on your Regents exam. It's an extremely common type of problem, but we can do some things that make it a bit more complicated. Let's take a look at an example. So for example number 2, what is the molarity of a solution containing 45.0 grams of sodium chloride in 0.25 liters of solution? And right away you probably recognize the difficulty with this problem, which is we need a number of moles of solute and a number of liters of solution. Now we have a number of liters of solution, 0.25 liters is given to us here. What we do not have is a number of moles of solute. The moles of sodium chloride is not given to us. Instead, we're given 45.0 grams of sodium chloride, and we're going to need to use that and the gram formula mass in order to find the number of moles of sodium chloride. So let's take a look at what that would look like. So here we have, again, the same exact formula that we had before. This is the one from table T. But first, we're going to take our 45.0 grams of sodium chloride, which is given to us in the problem. We're going to use the gram formula mass for sodium chloride. It is 58.5 grams of sodium chloride per mole. And using dimensional analysis, we're going to multiply these together. 45.0 grams times 1 over 58.5 grams of sodium chloride is 0.769 moles of sodium chloride. I've rounded this to 3 significant figures because both our measured values have 3 sig figs. Now, the molarity using the formula at the top here on table T, up here, right, is going to be the number of moles of solute. We just calculated that here. That's 0.769 moles divided by the volume of solution given to us in the problem, 0.25 liters. And 0.769 divided by 0.25 is 3.08 moles, which I probably should have rounded to 2 significant figures because 0.25 is rounded off to 2 sig figs. All right, so let's take a look at our next problem here. In example number 3, so here we can use the same formula to solve for something other than molarity. In this case, we're given the molarity of our solution. What volume of a 2.5 molar hydrochloric acid solution contains 0.50 moles of hydrochloric acid? So in this case, we have the concentration of the solution, its molarity 2.5 molar, and we have the number of moles, 0.50 moles. What we're looking for is the volume of solution that we would have to measure. We're going to use the same exact formula that we used before. This is the one from table T up here at the top. And what we're going to do, we're going to substitute our values from the problem. 2.5 molar is the molarity, 0.50 moles is the number of moles of solute, and X is our unknown number of liters of solution. We're going to need to solve for X. We can do that in a number of ways. We can multiply both sides by X. That would give us 2.5x equals 0.50. We could also, if you prefer to cross multiply, set up 2.5 as a fraction, 2.5 over 1, and then when we cross multiply, we're going to get 2.5 times x is 1 times 0.5. We'll have 2.5x is 0.50. In order to solve for x, we need to divide both sides by 2.5, and x is equal to 0.50 divided by 2.5. And that's going to give us 0.20 liters. X is in the denominator. If we have moles in the numerator, liters needs to be in the denominator. That way, molar is equal to moles per liter. So our final answer here is 0.20 liters. If you prefer to convert that into milliliters, you can do that as well. There are 1,000 milliliters per liter. So we simply move the decimal point 3 places to the right, and that would give us 200 milliliters, right? So this is the problem we might get if we're asked to find volume. This is something that's commonly done in the laboratory because we have the molarity of the solution is typically labeled, and when we want a certain number of moles of solute for a reaction, we need to find the volume of solution that will give us that number of moles, right? This is similar, by the way, to solving density problems where you know the density, you know the mass, you need to find the volume. Okay. We could also, for a given volume of solution and molarity, find the number of moles in that volume. We would do it in very much the same way, but if you can do a problem like this, you can easily do a problem solving this for the number of moles. Right? So there are other ways that we can describe the concentration of a solution. One of the other common ways that we'll do this is percent by mass. Now, we're not usually going to just describe percentage. We have to describe whether we're doing percent by mass or percent by volume. They work exactly the same way, except that percent by mass uses values measured in units of mass, and percent by volume does it in units measured by volume. I'll show you that in just a moment. It is the mass of solute expressed as a percentage of the mass of the entire solution. The formula that's shown here, percent mass, is equal to the mass of solute divided by the mass of the solution times 100%. This is shown for you on table T of your chemistry reference tables. This works out to be a straightforward percentage type solution, a percentage type problem, but there are, of course, a couple of twists that we can throw along. So a typical problem is going to look like this. Example number 4. If an aqueous solution contains 3.0 grams of hydrogen peroxide and 20.0 grams of solution, what is the percent of hydrogen peroxide by mass? So we have, in this case, the mass of hydrogen peroxide. We have the total mass of solution. All we need to do is find what percent this 3 grams is out of the 20 grams overall. We're going to do that using the formula for percent mass off of table T. Percent mass is the mass of solute divided by the mass of solution times 100%. The mass of solute of the hydrogen peroxide was given to us in the problem as 3.0 grams. The mass of the solution was given to us as 20.0 grams. So 3.0 grams divided by 20.0 grams times 100% is 15%. And I've rounded this to 2 sig figs because 3.0 is rounded to 2 sig figs. Right? This is really just a straightforward mass type problem. However, if we're feeling a little bit tricky, we can throw a curve for a typical problem. Let's take a look at example number 5. So in example number 5, 17.5 grams of potassium nitrate is dissolved in 45.0 grams of water. What is the percent of potassium nitrate by mass? Now the problem here is that we do not have a mass of solution. We need to express the 17.5 grams of potassium nitrate, our solute, as a percentage of the total mass of solution. The total mass of solution is the mass of potassium nitrate and the mass of the water, which is the solvent in our solution. because the mass doesn't go away just because we dissolve it in the water. We have to use the combined mass. Other than that, it's really a straightforward percent problem. It looks like this. We're going to use the same formula off of table T like we had before. This time, the mass of solute is 17.5 grams. That's the mass of potassium nitrate that's given to you in the problem, divided by the total mass of the solution. That's 17.5 grams for the potassium nitrate and 45.0 grams for the mass of water, multiplied by 100%. 17.5 plus 45.0 is 62.5 grams. That's the total mass of solution. So we have 17.5 grams of solute divided by 62.5 grams of solution times 100%. This works out to be 28.0% potassium nitrate by mass. Again, a pretty straightforward percentage problem. You can probably figure this one out. We just aren't given the total mass of solution. Overall, you have to find it yourself based on the mass of solute and the mass of solvent. Just remember, when we do percent by mass, it is the mass of the solution, not the mass of the solvent overall. So we could also do percent by volume. Percent by volume is a lot less commonly used. A lot of times it'll be done if we have a liquid solute and a liquid solvent, but even then percent by volume is a little bit tricky. And is the volume of solute as a percentage of the solution. Percent by volume is given here. This looks just like the percent by mass. It is a lot less likely you're going to see this. You might see it as a test question just to see if you can tell the difference, but really it's not used quite as often, in large part because when we mix together liquids, the total volume gets a little bit wonky. So I'm not even going to show you a problem like this. If you can do percent by mass, you can do percent by volume. You just have to make sure that you pay attention to the units that you're given. There is one other type of concentration that I want to show you. It works an awful lot like percent by mass, but we can do this for much smaller units. And this is parts per million. Parts per million is abbreviated ppm for parts per million. It is similar to percent by mass, except instead of measuring it out of a total of 100, we're measuring out of a total of 1 million. And it works exactly like this. It's only used for small concentrations of solutes. So if we have really, really tiny amounts and we don't want to have a very tiny number, much smaller than 1 for our percent, we'll use parts per million instead. We simply multiply by 1 million instead of multiplying by 100. But other than that, it works exactly the same way. For really, really small concentrations, we could use parts per billion, but that's not something that you're going to see in a Regents level class. Let's take a look at an example of this just so you know what it looks like. So for example number 6, a solution contains 0.025 grams of lead in 750 grams of solution. Find the concentration of lead in parts per million. So back to my whiteboard here, parts per million is the mass of solute divided by the mass of solution times 1 million. The parts per million then is 0.025 grams of lead, that's the amount of solute, divided by 750 grams of solution total times 1 million. 0.025 divided by 750 gives us a really small number because when we multiply it by a million, we get 33 parts per million. And that's our concentration here done in parts per million.